In the shimmering vastness of the celestial realms, where time had no dominion and light cascaded like molten gold, there existed a being of unparalleled beauty and power. This was Lucifer, the lightbringer, the morning star. The serenades of angels often sang of his beauty, and the tapestries of creation bore witness to his radiance. Lucifer was not just another celestial being, he was the epitome of perfection, the harmonious blend of strength, wisdom, and beauty. Every feather in his iridescent wings reflected the splendor of 1,000 suns, and his voice, a symphony of resonant harmonics, echoed through the boundless realms. When he sang, even the most distant stars seemed to pause and listen. When he soared, galaxies parted for him, their swirling patterns paying homage to his majesty. With such glory came pride, and with pride came ambition. As eons passed, the adulation Lucifer received began to seep deep into his psyche, and he started to harbor thoughts beyond his ordained station. He often found himself lost in introspection, gazing into the mirror pools of heaven, intoxicated by his own reflection. These pools, which showed the memories of existence, began to show him an altered narrative, one where he wasn't just a creation, but a creator. Amidst the luminous realms, the throne of the Creator stood, emanating a light so pure that no being could gaze upon it directly. It was a beacon of eternal love and infinite wisdom. Lucifer, from his vantage point, would often watch the pulsating energy that flowed from this source, wondering about the essence that lay beyond it. As his curiosity grew, so did a clandestine ambition, a desire to not only understand this power but to become one with it, to rival it. And so, he began to rally. In hushed tones, in the secluded corners of the vast heavens, he shared his vision with those who dared to listen. He spoke of a new dawn, a reimagined order, where angels would no longer be mere spectators but participants in the grand scheme of creation. Under his guidance, they would ascend to heights previously unimaginable. The universe, in all its vastness, would be theirs to mold. Word spread, and many were swayed by Lucifer's compelling vision. These angels, intoxicated by the promise of untapped power and seduced by the lightbringer's charisma, pledged their allegiance to him. Their numbers grew, and soon, a formidable legion stood behind Lucifer, ready to challenge the very fabric of creation. But not all were taken by his words. Many angels were disturbed by this rising tide of rebellion and reported the whispers to the archangels, the guardians of the celestial order. The archangels, led by the mighty Michael, approached the throne of the Creator, seeking guidance on how to quell the growing discord. The Creator, in his infinite wisdom, already knew of Lucifer's intentions. Yet, he hoped that the Lightbringer would recognize the folly of his ways and return to the fold. A grand assembly was called, where beings from every corner of the universe gathered. The very fabric of existence seemed to tremble in anticipation. Lucifer, with his legion behind him, stood defiant. His once golden eyes now burned with an intense azure flame, and his voice, which once echoed with harmonies, now resounded with defiance. He made his intentions clear. He sought to ascend, to claim a throne beside the Creator, to reshape existence in his vision. Michael, with a heavy heart, stepped forward. The bond between him and Lucifer was ancient, forged in the fires of creation. But duty called, and he was prepared to defend the order of the cosmos. With a voice that carried the weight of millennia, he pleaded with Lucifer to abandon this path of destruction, to remember the love and light from which he was born. But Lucifer was resolute. The allure of ultimate power had consumed him, and he was prepared to wage war for it. The celestial realms, which had only known harmony, were now on the brink of an unprecedented conflict. As the two factions squared off, a tense silence enveloped the universe. The stars seemed to hold their breath, and the galaxies froze in place. The first clash was imminent, and with it, the fate of all creation hung in the balance. The infinite expanse of the heavens became the stage for a cosmic confrontation, the likes of which had never been seen. On one side stood Lucifer, his beauty undiminished but now tainted with arrogance, and behind him, the vast legion of angels who shared his vision. Opposing them, Michael and his loyalists, ready to defend the divine order. As the initial moments of confrontation approached, the universe seemed to fold upon itself, the very stars trembling with anxiety. Then, with a deafening roar that resonated through existence, the battle commenced. Lucifer, his wings expanded, lunged at Michael, their energies clashing in a blinding burst of light. The harmonies that once sang of their brotherhood were now replaced by the cacophonous clash of their blades, each strike sending ripples through the fabric of reality. But it wasn't just a physical confrontation. The very essence of their beings was at odds. Lucifer's ambition and Michael's duty intertwined in an intricate dance of light and shadow, hope and despair. Around them, their allegiance engaged, the sky alight with the fires of war. Celestial beings, who had only known love and harmony, now bore witness to pain, betrayal, and loss. The golden tapestries of the heavens were marred by the scars of battle, and the mirror pools, which had always reflected the memories of existence, now showed a grim reality. As eons seemed to pass in what was mere moments in the timeless realms, the toll of the conflict became evident. Many angels lay fallen, their radiant forms dimmed. Yet, neither side yielded, each driven by their unwavering conviction. Amidst this chaos, a singular moment stood out. Gabriel, the messenger, approached Lucifer, his wings battered and his form flickering like a candle nearing its end. They had been close, once. Gabriel, with tears in his eyes, beseeched Lucifer to remember the love that had birthed them, the purpose that had guided them. But Lucifer's once clear eyes were clouded with ambition, and he struck Gabriel down, leaving the messenger broken. This act seemed to shift the very balance of the battle. A gasp echoed through the ranks. The sight of the fallen Gabriel, the beacon of hope and clarity, devastated many of Lucifer's followers. Doubt began to creep into their hearts. Had they been so blinded by the promise of power that they had lost their way? Seeing this, Michael mustered his forces for a final, decisive push. With a roar that shook the heavens, the loyalists surged forward, their combined might overwhelming Lucifer's forces. The lightbringer, realizing the tide had turned, tried to rally his legion, but it was too late. After what seemed like an eternity, silence once again enveloped the celestial realms. The battle was over. The heavens, though scarred, had withstood the assault. Lucifer and his followers were defeated, but the price of victory was steep. The loss, the pain, and the betrayal would leave an indelible mark on the fabric of existence. With heavy hearts, Michael and the archangels approached the fallen morning star. His radiant form, though battered, still exuded an aura of beauty. But the pride and ambition that had fueled his rebellion had taken its toll. Michael, with tears in his eyes, declared the judgment. Lucifer, the light-bringer, the beloved of the heavens, would be cast out. No longer would he bask in the warmth of divine love or serenade the cosmos with his harmonies. He and his followers were to be exiled to a realm where their ambitions would find no purchase. And so, from the highest echelons of the celestial realms, Lucifer was cast down, his descent a tragic arc of light plummeting into darkness. The fall was unlike anything Lucifer had ever experienced. The timeless expanse through which he had once soared with grace was now a tumultuous vortex, pulling him deeper into the abyss. As he descended, the memories of his glorious past, the adulations, and the harmonies, clashed with the reality of his present, his rebellion, and his defeat. He landed in a realm devoid of the radiant light he was so accustomed to. It was a place of shadows, a stark contrast to the luminous heavens from whence he came. This was his new dominion, a kingdom of darkness where he and his followers would dwell. The weight of his decisions, the consequences of his pride, pressed heavily upon him. The angels that had followed him, once radiant and full of hope, were now changed, their forms twisted by the weight of their choices. They were no longer the celestial beings of light, but entities of the abyss, their luminance replaced with an eerie glow. And as they gazed upon their new ruler, they realized the extent of their folly. Lucifer, despite the overwhelming regret, began to reshape this desolate realm. Drawing upon the remnants of his celestial energy, he crafted magnificent fortresses and towering spires, trying to recreate a semblance of the heavens he had lost. But for all his efforts, there was an undeniable emptiness, a void that no architecture or artistry could fill. As time, or the semblance of it in this realm, passed, Lucifer's sorrow transformed into resentment. He felt wronged, believing that his vision for a new order was righteous. The bitterness seeped into the very essence of his domain, making it a place of torment and despair. The fallen angels, too, embraced this new purpose, becoming demons, agents of chaos and malice. However, amidst the darkness, there was a flicker of the light Lucifer once embodied. Deep within him, the memory of his original purpose, his designation as the light-bringer, lingered. He began to seek ways to connect with the realms above, not to wage another war, but to find some semblance of redemption. In his quest, he discovered the realm of mortals. Earth, a place teeming with life and potential. Here, he saw an opportunity to influence, to guide, and perhaps, in doing so, find a way back to the light. He started interacting with humanity, sometimes as a tempter, leading them astray, and at other times, as a teacher, imparting knowledge. But as he touched the lives of mortals, he also learned from them. Their capacity for love, sacrifice, and resilience reminded him of the very essence he had lost. The stories of their redemption, their ability to rise after a fall, gave him hope. Lucifer's interactions with humanity were a double-edged sword. While he sometimes led them into darkness, he also illuminated their path, teaching them to harness their inner light. This duality became his existence, a reflection of the light and shadow that defined him. Back in the celestial realms, whispers began. Angels spoke of Lucifer's deeds on earth, of his complex interplay with mortals. Some saw it as a continuation of his defiance, while others, perhaps more forgiving, saw glimmers of his desire for redemption. The Creator, in his infinite wisdom, observed in silence. The story of Lucifer, the lightbringer, was not yet complete. His fall, his descent into darkness, and his interactions with humanity were all threads in the intricate tapestry of existence. And so, in the vast theater of the cosmos, the tale of the fallen angel continued to unfold. A tale of pride and downfall, but also of hope and the eternal quest for redemption.